This is WTF Nation Radio.
Stand up for the things I believe in, but I don't always do what's right. I'm the only hell my mama ever raised, but hell my mama tried. I am the last of a dying breed. There ain't many souls left like me. I'm a man of my word, that's a guarantee. I'm the last of a dying breed.
The horse, with beauty unsurpassed, strength immeasurable, and grace unlike any other, still remains humble enough to carry a man upon its back. When a service member or first responder takes an oath, he or she has mentally and physically committed themselves with self-sacrifice. From the front lines abroad to the very streets you live on in America, they protect. This oath is non-refundable and it is lifelong. Facing unimaginable dangers and unseen scars, these grounds are a place to recover and face any challenges head-on. As veterans and first responders ourselves, we know that battle all too well. From a simple talk with a friend on horseback to an entire debrief in the barn, this sanctuary has seen recovery take place time and time again. No hour of life is wasted that is spent in a saddle. The way we approach change isn't a new phenomenon. This animal has been with humans over 5,000 years. If you've ever been around a horse for long enough, you'll feel that thing, that electric trust. In that moment, nothing else is in your mind. When they turn into you, it's like the world disappears. We harness that moment to build skills off of. Repurposing requires flexibility, adaptability, and the willingness to challenge assumptions and conventional thinking. This approach can be applied to many areas in life, including business, education, and personal growth. To ride a horse is to fly without wings. This lesson and skills learned at War Horses will help reintegrate back into daily life. You'll learn coping mechanisms, improved communication skills, trust and confidence that will help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These tools can be used every day to navigate life and take on many challenges. This may involve practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, improving communication with loved ones. Transitioning back to society is hard on your own. And when you're at War Horses, you're family. And families solve problems together.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I can feel this in my ears. What is happening?
The voice of U.S. Army WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I did it again. Thank you for fucking being here.
Oh crap! Don't tell me we're offline now.
No, we're not offline. I had the mute button, but Heath Bartlett was there to make me aware of the mistakes that I had already made. So yeah, I felt really guilty. I've had a lot going on. I had some foundation stuff done today. I've been super busy. I wasn't going to do a show tonight, but I felt guilty about that. So I wanted to broadcast. So here we are. My normal co-host, Pookie, is not here, but we do have the coach. What's going on, sir?
You know what? When I say, what do I hear? What do I say? I'll tell you what I hear. I hear nothing but daggone Hispanic music going on from the grilling the drunk bastards in front of my hotel room are doing right now.
But that's
For crying out loud. I've been trying to sleep and now I'm stuck being up right now. I've got nothing else to do. So I might as well come on with you guys because I am not too happy.
Well, you know, I really appreciate the strife that you're going through, but if you walk out of that door and you ask, I'll bet you they'll give you a tamale or whatever they're eating. If you're hungry or whatever.
Oh no! I'm not hungry. I already ate at a Cracker Barrel earlier. You know.
Oh yeah, but nothing beats really good Mexican food, man. It's tamale season.
I know. I had good Mexican food yesterday. I had some enchiladas poblanos, and it was really really daggone good. But no, not tonight. I stopped several times at Buc-ee's because I'm only like 2 minutes away from there, so I've gotten my fill of brisket and the Texas cheesesteak burrito. And now I'm completely full and trying to go to sleep before I gotta get up and go to the NASCAR race tomorrow and on Sunday. But these motherfuckers playing the music aren't letting me right now.
It's kind of a funny story. I went to we had a 4-day weekend. I forget what it may have been, Labor Day, which is this weekend. Way back 20 plus years ago. But we were at a campground at we're going to go float down the Guadalupe River here in Texas. And so we were at Canyon Lake Park, which is it's a military recreation area.
Yeah.
And there were people in the adjoining. We like set up our stuff, and then we went to bed, and we kind of woke up the next morning, and there was like 1,000 motherfuckers all over the place, and the Tejano music was just blasting, and everyone was getting ready to have a great weekend. But what happened was someone came over and says, "Hey, we're invading your space." It's basically, I'm paraphrasing, we're invading your space. We're making a lot of food. We're going to have too much. Would you like some food? So here we are, hungover from the previous night, and we are being fed in copious amounts of food by these lovely, wonderful, Mexican families. And it ended up being really, really cool because we met some new people and we made some new friends. I'm thinking maybe you can do the same thing outside your hotel room. And hopefully you don't get shot. I don't know. I don't know.
I might want to do this. I might want to do this tomorrow night. This is one of those sleep and fuck motels where that's basically all you try to do.
Sleep. Did you say sleep and fuck? Like at one of those you pay we don't say motels?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's right along the main strip of Florence, South Carolina, right now. So. Anybody who's ever traveled
Florence, South Carolina. I thought you meant Florence, North Carolina, because I've been to Florence. When I said I've been to Florence, I was Florence, North Carolina, to visit a friend of mine who was going through SF.
Yeah,
no, that's not it.
No, trust me. If anybody has ever been around here, this is like this is where I-20 starts. All right, and it leads you right to I'm about an hour away from Myrtle Beach. Oh shit! I should have just freaking gone to Pookie's house.
Exactly.
But oh shit! Did I just break something out there?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, he did. No, he's good.
I should have gone there, but no, I decided to stay down here for some stupid reason, and I really shouldn't have. I should have just freaking stayed up at Bragg, but no, I'm staying here and freaking listening to I don't even think it's Selena right now. I don't even know what the hell song they're playing right now. But all I know is that whatever they're cooking outside stinks. It doesn't smell like chorizo. It doesn't smell like tamales. It looks like they're burning the the steaks outside, or might be something else. But oh my god. Ugh. This is one of those hotels where if you pay to stay here, you're definitely running low on the money. I think I almost got stuck up by the roaches that were over here. One of them had a Glock. The hanger that's up here. There's wire hangers up here. I'm pretty sure that I know what the uses are for. But,
oh God,
I won't get into that. Yeah, look, and this is how bad this daggone place is. I went in there go use the toilet, do my nightly constitutions and everything. And I, just at like the toilet at my house, the toilet's running for about 15 minutes. So I go jiggle the handle.
Okay.
Man, that damn thing didn't even flush. I open up the lid and there I see, whatever I digested just floating around inside the toilet for the past 20 minutes. And then I had to fix the daggone toilet because these people don't know how to. I'm pretty, in fact, the couch that I'm sitting on right now, I'm pretty sure that there's like knife marks in it. Okay.
And I was asking you earlier about that. Is there any blood, or did they get that all out?
I think they got all the blood out. I'm afraid to turn over the other side of the cushion to see if there is any blood in there. But at this point, I just want this weekend to be over with. I think it's going to be sad when I go to the NASCAR race and I'm going to end up falling asleep while the cars are going 180 miles an hour right past me.
Before we get into the NASCAR race, let me remind everybody that we've got shows 6 nights a week. On Sunday is a sports bar, Monday is the Monday edition, Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior, Wednesday is the Smoke Pit, Thursday is Sergeant's Time, and then Friday, of course, is Friday Night Freedom, which happens on the usual every 2 weeks. But what kind of NASCAR race is this? Where is it?
Oh, it's over at Darlington. It's the Xfinity VFW VFW Sports Clips Help a Hero 200 is tomorrow. And then the opening round of the NASCAR playoffs starts Sunday with the Southern 500, both of the races over at Darlington. I will be at both of the races this weekend. And
they're probably racing trucks or something tonight, right?
Yeah, I don't know where the truck race is at tonight. I didn't even look at it. I know it's the Xfinity Series tomorrow, and Sunday's the Cup Series. So.
It's just cool. We have a former guest, Uwiji. What is his first name? But yeah, he's an active Navy.
Okay. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's been racing trucks now. He finally got a full-time ride this season. I know whom you're talking about. He's I'm not going to say he's on the fringe, but I wish he was doing a little bit better. Maybe if he got a competitive truck, he'd be doing a little bit better. But gotcha. He's racing. He's racing in one of the 3 series. I don't
know shit about NASCAR, man. All I know is they're like badass cars that go and they make left turns, and they do that for a while, and then someone at the end of the day comes in first. And there's wrecks. It's kind of like hockey. Sometimes there's fights. Sometimes there's wrecks in NASCAR. There was a massive. What was the last week? There was this massive wreck. Okay. What was that guy?
Ryan Preece. Yeah, I was watching that, and with the way that these new generation cars are shaped, they haven't gotten all of the aero completely gone, and they're using the ground effects, underneath the car to help create downforce and suck that car to the track. The issue is that because once that downforce goes up, or goes away, whether it's because of a slide or if it hits, you don't think about the hitting the grass as being kind of a kick up or anything like that. But the air got underneath the car as he got into a crash and then slid on the grass in the back of Daytona. And when he did, his car went almost 3/4 around on the right side. Then when it landed, the way that it landed, it started flipping towards the left. Ryan Preece flipped 11 times in that crash last week.
I watched that crash and I counted it, and I'm like, there was more than 11, so I don't know what they call a complete flip or a complete rotation.
I counted how many times I saw that guy's number on the top of on the top of the car. I counted how many times it was in the picture frame. So I counted it 11 times, but it could have been 12 or so.
Branko said it perfectly. He says when they're not going straight on the road, they just become an airplane wing and they generate lift.
Yeah, they do. They do. And credit to NASCAR. I will say this: Ryan Preece survived that crash.
He walked away, didn't he? I mean, he walked away and then he went to the hospital. But
he got out of the car. I'm pretty sure he was a little dazed and confused when he got out of the out of the car. But he got out. The medics, the EMT personnel that were on the scene, at the track. They immediately put him on a gurney, and then he went to the infield care center. They brought him overnight to the hospital for observation, and then early the next morning, he was released on his own recognizance, and he'll be out qualifying tomorrow. So
oh my gosh, he's already back. I guess there's no. It's not like the concussion protocols in the NFL. They just okay, you can walk, you can pee on your own, and okay, go.
Well, kind of, sort of. With the way that these cars are this year compared to last year,
they're so protected.
You're seeing a lot less concussions. Last year, Alex Bowman and Kurt Busch, both of them got into pretty bad accidents, and you wouldn't think that they would have been that bad and would have had concussions after it. But because of how stiff the rear of the car was and there was no crumple zone, it was like, it was like just a steel beam going into the wall with nothing crumpling underneath them. And it jerked them so hard that, they ended up getting concussions. Kurt Busch didn't race from Pocono on last year, and he ended up retiring just a couple weeks ago because of the concussions. So he was gone from racing for the entire year. Alex Bowman, about 5 games or about 5 races or so, he was gone last year because of concussions. So, I mean, there is a concussion protocol, but with the way that Ryan, his, even the landing on his on the hood or on the roof of the car, with the crumple zones that they have and the roll bars and everything, he never really hit his head or anything like that, and he didn't get a concussion or anything like that. And he like I said, he got out of his car when he after he got done flipping and everything, and he's back to being racing this weekend.
I mean, good for him. I'm glad. I mean, I hate to see people get injured. That just sucks to have someone taken out. It doesn't matter what game it is, tennis, football, or American football, soccer, whatever. It sucks to see someone get injured and their livelihood is at risk because they have a knee injury or a neck injury because NASCAR got wrecked.
Yeah, that is when you see it happen, it sucks. I mean, obviously, a lot of people point back to what happened 22 years ago with Dale Earnhardt crashing into turn 4 at Daytona, snapping his neck and dying almost instantaneously. The amount of safety that modern NASCAR has put into their cars, you see these horrific wrecks, and Ryan Preece is one of those horrific wrecks that when you see it, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. But these race car drivers have a lot of freaking, gusto and, are able to survive these massive things on there. I'm not sure if you remember last year, but I sent a clip of a Formula One race.
They're in like a bubble almost.
Yeah. Yeah. They have what's called a halo on top of their cockpit of their monocoque chassis that they have. And they have what's called a halo on top of it. And a driver last year, Zhou Guanyu, he slid upside down right at the start of the race going into the turn. He slid on that halo, and then he crashed into the tire barrier. And the way that he crashed, he ended up flipping twice and landing in between the catch fence and the tire barrier. and was able to walk out of it almost instantly with nothing happening to him. So
these are safety protocols that could have, I mean,
yeah.
Which is probably a result of, Dale's, demise.
Yeah. And I hate, I hate to say this, the advancements don't come as quickly as we would like, but
they're reactionary because it's like something new happens and they're like, oh, how do we mitigate that? And then they come up with something, smart people with math and stuff.
Exactly. It's like the Army, somebody does something completely fucked up and then all of a sudden we can't do that anymore.
Like, oh, we never thought about that. So, and then we
never
changes.
thought about doing it that way, and then we got to make a change. That's the reason why everybody had to wear iPro constantly, regardless of
and PT belts, right?
Yeah, you had to have the PT belts on at all times because somebody, couldn't see in the middle of the dark, and that reflective glow of the PT belt was going to make sure that they would be okay. Yeah. But, unlike the Army, I think some of the motorsports has a lot more common sense. So you're not going to have to do the stupid things over and over and over again.
So what kind of, like in the NFL, what kind of protocols are being introduced to like helmets and stuff? I saw some like stupid stuff. It looks like cotton candy outside the helmet, like adding weight and potential for injury.
Yeah. So the best way to say this is, the best way to kind of describe some of the helmets, especially for practice, is they will have a padded type of helmet. It almost looks like a helmet you would give somebody who has seizures all the time with the little pillow buffs on it. They'll place that over the helmet to help, help reduce during practice any of the headshots or hits or soften the blows and things like that as it happens.
Okay.
The quarterbacks will actually have a much larger, helmet now, to also help prevent all of those. And then on top of that too, during practices, most of them are low contact or no contact, especially when it comes to the quarterback. And that's to obviously prevent the CTE and the head injuries, because the CTE has been one of those big issues that the NFL's been trying to tackle,
right?
Figuratively and literally. And then some other advances in the helmet have come up where there's like I think they call it a halo too, but if you ever noticed on the helmet, they now have a notch like right at the top and by the crown itself. It's like a U-shaped kind of notch inside there, and that's supposed to give way so that there's not so much head-on impact if a quarterback is driven to the ground or like pile drive, basically kind of pile driven into the ground, or anybody else hits with the crown of their helmet. It'll soften the blow so that this way, even as it is a legal hit with leading with the crown, it won't be as impactful as it once was. And it goes back to the tackling with the arms and trying to, properly tackle somebody.
So at what point does the NFL say, fuck it, we're just going to be like a flag football team? If you're not allowed to block in a certain way or tackle in a certain way or cover in a certain way.
That is the question, and I think it's going to be a slow evolution when it comes down to something like that. Like I don't think that in my lifetime it's never going to be not tackle football in the NFL and in college and in high school. It's still going to be that type of tackle football. But what I do think is that we're slowly going to see a lot of the potential, they're going to get rid of absolutely everything before tackling is done. You can already see it right now in the NFL with the moving of the kickoffs up about 5 yards.
What kind of new changes are there? It's like it's protecting the kick receiver.
Yeah.
For punts.
So the 1 yard rule, the 1 yard rule for anybody who's punting, you can't be within the zone. Obviously, no hitting after a fair catch, and the fair catch is being done. One thing we're seeing a lot of is what's called they've now outlawed these crackback blocks, where somebody will come running all the way up to the side of a would-be tackler and block the receiver. That's from his side without being in front of him. And that's now a penalty in the NFL because they've gotten rid of that. In fact, just last
I remember
week
playing
over at
high
the
school
Jets-
football, just going,
Yeah.
whatever I could get away with is what I did, and it was, a lot of chop blocks, just my gosh.
Chop blocks became illegal after what's his name, Tom Brady went down with a torn ACL. Low tackles, things like that have come down. Everything is about now with the safety of it, but like I said, they're going to get rid of absolutely everything before they get rid of tackling.
Everything that makes it fun. It's like trying to regulate hockey.
Yeah,
and they're trying.
But you know what? Hockey itself is still somewhat of a dangerous sport.
Oh, hell yes.
It still has more action and hitting. It's not as much of the holding or anything like that. Like
no, it's the brutal hits. There's some brutal
but you still
hits.
see plenty of brutal. Oh yeah, you see plenty of brutal hits in hockey. NFL is also the most popular sport in America. So anytime
you think it's more popular, I guess if you look at money, I guess it's more popular than baseball. I think there's more fans in baseball, but I think the money is where NFL is.
Yeah, there's more fans in baseball. Like, all right, so per game, obviously the NFL only has 17 games in a season.
True. Absolutely true. Yeah, the volume
per game,
volume.
Yeah, per game there is more. Now, volume wise, the Major League Baseball, hands down, because they play 162 games. So even with the 16 games, like per capita, but if you look at the money that's being done, right, that's out there for everybody. Major League Baseball is giving the larger contracts, but at the same time too, it's a longer season. So they're more of the volume instead of the quality, and the NFL is definitely the quality instead of the volume.
So it's like every day you've got 81 games of baseball happening.
Well,
162 divided by 2
games of baseball. 16 games of baseball happening every day. But there's 162 games in a year, so it goes on for 6 months. So
yeah, because there's
out of
the
days
off.
They have like 10 or 12 off days during the season. So
gotcha. Yeah, my math was off.
Oh no, it's all right, man. But yeah, when you're playing once a week versus playing 5 to 6 times a week, that's where you like I said, it's quality versus quantity. And Major League Baseball has definitely been a quantity, and NFL has always been about quality. So
how is it different? I mean, Tom Brady was here in Dallas or Arlington, and he was out there talking with Jerry Jones. And do you think maybe Tom Brady's going to get into the coaching realm?
I don't think he'll be a coach for a while. Like, if he does, it'll probably end up being his sons or his kids' teams, whenever he gets them from Giselle on the weekends.
He's a coach every other weekend, and then maybe on Christmas.
And maybe he gets the Thanksgiving game. He doesn't get the Christmas game. He was going to take this year off, and I believe in 2024 he's starting as one of the commentators or one of the analysts on Fox. I know that they paid him a butt ton of money during his first retirement.
Can he make words? Can he make words? I mean, really?
Well, I mean, we never thought that Tony Romo could make words.
Romo made words. He actually was really, really good.
Yeah, but now he's become a clown of himself.
Now he's a clown, but he was really, really good in his first year. He was like, I was like, really, really surprised that Romo was like, oh my gosh, he's actually taking us into the mind of the quarterback or into the mind of the offensive line or into the mind of the defensive line.
Yeah, and I think Brady will be okay with it. I mean, much in the same way back in the day, Joe Montana was an analyst for CBS.
Yeah.
You do have all of these great players who are able to bring a certain insight to it, and I think Brady will be okay. I don't think he'll have the longevity like several of the players. He's definitely not going to be as bad and as brain dead as Troy Aikman. And there's a guy who was tackled and concussed too many times. But he won't be as intolerable as Aikman would be. I think he'll be a lot like Steve Young when he was on Monday Night Football before he was on ESPN, before he got fired from ESPN. I think he'll be around that one. I don't think he'll be doing it for that long. I mean, the dude's worth like $500 million, with everything that he's done in the NFL, and he doesn't even get like the Nike shoe deals. He gets like the ultra rich type of sponsorships. Like he's got like his own luxury line of watches over in Europe right now, and he's got like that soccer player money or that tennis player money or the tennis guy's money. He's got those types of sponsorships. He instead of BMW, he's got Rolls Royce. That kind of luxury types of things. So he's got enough money where if he doesn't feel comfortable doing it, or if he just doesn't do it the best way, he'll just say fuck it. I'll sit on my cash and watch my kids.
So Heath Barlow says he's coaching high school softball again, and the rules have definitely changed from last season. And I'm guessing that's because of the protection of the players.
Yeah. Softball was actually one of the first sports to go for the between baseball does this at the lower levels, especially at like little league and before you hit high school, but they now in softball at the college level they're going full face masks. They have
I've seen that, and I was wondering if that was like a voluntary thing. I've seen a lot of like college girls playing the fast pitch softball, and some of them have the half face shield, or it's like you're at bat and it's like whatever you're facing the pitcher with. But I've seen the pitchers get clocked with balls too.
Oh yeah. In Major League Baseball, they do the same thing too, but Major League Baseball hasn't gone to that full face mask yet. But softball, with how close it is, and obviously with the increase of velocity that these women are pitching at and obviously hitting at, especially with a larger ball, they call it softball. It's not the correct nomenclature for it because it's still pretty damn hard, but yeah, there's more chance of an injury because of how close they're pitching than it is in baseball. I think the pitcher's mound's like 40 feet in softball versus 60 feet in baseball, and those balls can get clocked underhand. Even underhand, you can get them close to 90 miles an hour, which overhand at 100 at 60 feet versus underhand 90 at 40 feet.
I've noticed a lot of the major league pitchers are not Nolan Ryan level, but there's 101s, 103s.
Yeah.
How the hell do you do that?
It's the evolution of mankind.
Well, it's also physics and coaching too.
Yeah, a lot of the coaching that's coming out, a lot of people are all power pitchers. Everybody wants to go down. Everybody that's from high school going all the way down to shoot. And I'll give a great analogy here in a moment. Even going down to the underage, like the little league teams. When you're going into that type of performance, they're worried about velocity right now, not so much of control. And then the control will come. So they're always teaching everybody velocity, because everybody can now catch up to a 90 mile an hour fastball.
Really? Can they?
With the way, I'm talking about at the professional level. With the
so
way
fast, dude. There's umpires when Nolan Ryan was pitching Major League Baseball asking the fucking catcher, was that a ball or a strike?
Yep. He could probably still hit 90 miles an hour on the speed gun, but with the way that they're tailoring their swings with this uppercut type of thing, the velocity itself has to be high enough. I gone are the days, and it really kills me. Gone are the days of pitchers like Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine, where they would have that pinpoint control, fool you with the off-speed pitch. Now it seems that every pitcher has to hit 100, has to have some type of off-speed pitch as an out pitch. And with the way that the batters are swinging in Major League Baseball, a lot of them are using their swings are such an uppercut with big holes in it.
Because everyone's swinging for the fences, which makes it boring. They only want three true outcomes. They either want a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. If everybody on the squad base hit, that's all you want. Get a hit.
Yeah.
If you get a hit, guess what? The guy who got a hit before you advances. It's a team fucking thing. You don't have to make a stellar fucking home run.
Yeah, I know. I wish it was that way, but that's also part of the reason why the Yankees are in the position that they're in right now with the highest payroll in Major League Baseball. Every single one of their philosophies are to get three things: either a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. And with the way that everything's tailored, that's all that they really want. But
it's what makes it exciting for. It makes people tune in. When you get Judge cranking home runs all the time, that's exciting. But if you get a 1-0 game where it's a pitcher battle.
Yeah, but a guy like Judge hitting home runs, it's expected. You're not worried about a guy like freaking
but put Judge against Ryan. But put Judge against Ryan. I don't think Judge could hit Ryan.
I think he could. Because these pitchers right now are pitching at the same velocity that Nolan Ryan was pitching at. Nolan Ryan had great movement on his ball, and a lot of the pitchers now have pretty decent movement on their ball.
You know what would fuck him up though? Have someone throw a fucking 60 mile an hour, just a slug. They wouldn't know what to do.
The knuckleballers, should be coming back because they would have no idea how to hit a knuckleball anymore.
No.
Every single one of them would try to, uppercut the ball and screw it all up. Nobody's teaching a knuckleball anymore.
I really didn't mean to turn this into the sports show.
It's a sports bar without King right now.
Right? Which sucks, man, because King does a great job and you do a great job. Coach here is always on with the actual King Smith, and they do a show on Sunday nights. But my only personal involvement with you is talking sports, man. So sorry, I didn't mean to make this an entire sports show.
That's all right. Hey, I took it over, man. I kind of made it more of a sports show, for crying out loud. Just like me being down here in Darlington,
So who? Any big celebrities out there? Taxation is theft, Pookie.
Oh, Pookie's on. All right.
He is.
Hey, Pookie, I'm in your home state, buddy. Why don't you come on up here and save me from these people cooking outside my fucking hotel room?
He's what, an hour from your house, man?
Yeah, he's an hour from my hotel right now. Yeah, he can come on up here and chill out here for a little bit. I'll be up here until freaking Monday anyway.
That's a long time. You're there for the long haul, huh?
Yeah, I'm here all weekend, man.
What's today? Today's Friday. Obviously, you got there last night or today?
Man, has the foundation at your house really screwed you up that much?
Well, no, I had to take Thursday. I had to take Thursday off and today off because I had crews at the house, and I've got people coming for quotes. Because it's not only the foundation issues, but it's the driveway, and I have a retaining wall that I have to build. And I'm like, as long as I got you out here, give me a quote for the front side of the house. And
yeah, so what happened? So what happened with the foundation of the house, man?
Well, it broke. My house was built in 1984. Okay. And I have no idea how they treated the house. I can tell by the way that the house was when I moved in that they didn't spend too much time taking care of it. after I'd done most of my renovations, I'm looking at like little cracks in the ceiling, little cracks in the wall, going, this is weird. I need to pay attention to this. So I would deploy like soaker hoses around the foundation, and thinking that would take care of it. But for the last 2 summers, it's been super, super dry, and this year especially. I was sleeping. This is months ago, but it sounded like 4 gunshots, and it was actually 4 nails popping out. So I had 4 nail pops while I was sleeping, and I looked, and then there was this other big crack in my bedroom. Drywall's just big old crack. It went down, left, down, right, and down. It just went. So I'm like, okay, I definitely have a foundation issue. Turns out, I had a professional come in. Foundation on the back of my house where my bathroom has dropped 4.2 inches from the norm. So I needed to get that fixed. So had a bunch of guys come out. Today they fixed that problem. But I have to have it's called a hydrostatic test, where a plumber comes in and makes sure that the sewage is not leaking. If it's leaking, I've got problems, more problems. If it's not leaking, which I hope it's not leaking, then all I have to do is build a retaining wall, which is about $10,000, and then I'm good.
Holy crap!
Yeah, the retaining wall is probably $10,000. The foundation repair was $7,300. And the thing is, that's not covered by insurance. It's just maybe in some other states they cover the foundation for insurance, but not here in Texas.
Yeah.
Unless, maybe they do. I never asked for it, so that's my fault.
Yeah, man, that is nothing wrong with the plumbing or anything like that, man?
So far not, and I'm really happy about that.
Good. Yeah, that'll definitely cost a freaking arm and a leg if you gotta fix any of that, man. That's a nightmare in and of itself. I had that issue, I'll tell you that.
I'm kind of fortunate though. All of my major plumbing is on the outside walls. I mean, there's that main that runs down the middle. That's fine. If anything's going to break because of the lifting of the house, it'll be on the back end of the house, and that's all accessible from the outside. So you don't have to drill through my foundation or tunnel through my foundation to address an issue. So I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. I don't expect anything. I hope that nothing happens, but it just sucks, man. Homeownership sucks. And there's always that do I buy a house? Do I rent an apartment? I don't know. I think I'm still in the buy a house thing. Not now. Buying a house now sucks, and it's probably not advised.
Yeah. With the mortgage rates, with the mortgage rates at this point, I definitely would advise just renting right now. Wait until the economy starts to settle. Or the next Republican takes over as president. But
somebody else.
That's probably what
7%. 7% mortgages are post Carter level. I think the first house that I bought, and this is probably 30 years ago, was I think 6.3 was my interest rate. But then the interest rates went down, so I'd like refinance for a lot less. So I think I was around 4. The house that I'm paying for right now, 2.5, 2.6, something like that percent. And that makes a huge, and it's the interest that really kicks your ass. It's not paying for the house, it's paying the bank to borrow the money.
Yep. My interest rate when I bought my house, God, it was.
And it's not even taxes. Taxation is theft. Interest is fucking rape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taxation is theft and interest is rape. My God, is it ever? But yeah, I think mine was like 3% as far as the mortgage rate. So it was at the time of the mortgage rates were pretty daggone low. And, I was pretty happy with that one. And then, once COVID happened and then, everything started skyrocketing because everybody was buying up everything. even though the prices of the value of my house is now almost double what it was when I bought it, there's no way I could sell it right now because I'm not paying 7% on an interest rate for a house somewhere else. I mean, I'll get killed on that interest rate, and I really don't want to go through the entire refinancing and basically resetting my mortgage,
and it'll cost you $5,000, which they roll into the cost of the house. So whatever you're borrowing is increased, whatever that level is increased by $5,000, and then you pay this lower interest rate on. Really? They're just kind of like re-upping. They're re-upping the loan until you're just like forever in debt.
Yeah, that's basically it. And then you die, and your family.
Then the bank gets it. Then the bank gets it.
Yeah, then the bank gets it. They sell it to somebody who flips the house, and the flipper tries to get money out of it.
Yeah, it's just that everything right now is so horrendously expensive. I mean, houses are expensive, and there's a high interest rate, which is equally as terrible.
Yeah, and the wages ain't going up. Interest rates are up, and the stock market's down, and you're going to get mugged if you go downtown. Oh, gee, I wonder who said that, many years ago. Gee, was he talking about back then, or was he talking about now?
Who's that? Oh, God, you're right. Oh, it's just
Cephas, yeah.
History is just repeating itself.
Yeah, that's
property
true.
taxes shot through the roof. It has, but here in Dallas-Fort Worth, we actually have politicians. And I'm not going to sing their praises, but they're in the state of Texas. They're talking about like $100,000 deferment, I guess, on taxes or whatever. So whatever your house is worth, minus $100,000 is what you pay taxes on. And then if you're a disabled veteran for whatever, that's 20%, and then homestead exemption is another percentage. So that's good because home values here in Texas have skyrocketed. So everyone's property values are skyrocketing, and we're paying taxes on this super inflated level. And people are like, okay, my used to be affordable house is no longer affordable because I'm being taxed out of existence.
Yeah, North Carolina's got the thing. If you're 100% disabled, I'm not sure if actually I can't remember what the percentage is, but I know it's like the first 100,000 of your value of your house is tax free, but you have to apply for it. And I've been lazy and stupid and keep forgetting to keep doing it.
You're putting money on the table, man. You're leaving money on the table.
I know I'm leaving money on the table. I've got to get off my ass and actually do that one day.
It's probably like a 1 or 2 page form, dude.
Yeah, it is, and that's where I'm coming into the issue is that I keep on forgetting to do the daggone thing. I don't forget to show them my DD-214 when I go get my free disabled veteran plates. But every time I keep doing this stupid income tax thing, it's like, going down to the tax collector and
it's a different office in the same building, man.
Exactly. And I can't remember. I keep on forgetting to do it, and I'm like, oh, I got to do this. And it's been now freaking years since I've actually it was supposed to have done this. And yeah, I want to say at least 5 years now I've been leaving freaking money on the table, and
I'm sure they don't do like a back pay.
Oh God, no. God no. But yeah, I think that's something I need to do that before the end of this year.
Pookie says disabled vets shouldn't pay any taxes. I agree. If you've got a disability rating, I don't think you ought to, from serving in the military, I don't think you ought to pay any taxes.
Yeah, I mean, well,
but then we're talking about, communities. I mean, the high veteran communities not paying taxes if they're disabled, then the cities and communities and municipalities are not, collecting revenue.
Yeah.
This is the only way. They don't make money. Communities don't make money. They tax the fuck at everyone.
Yeah.
So they're just, you're taking. Go ahead.
Now, I'm gonna bring up a quasi argument here, and trust me, and in my profession, I'm saying this just because of the sheer fact that I'm around a lot of this benefit stuff all the time and
Gotcha.
all of the things that we're entitled to. But I'm starting to realize something. Do you think that we, as veterans, and let's go, we've got a 25 year, we've got almost 2 generations full of a veteranship over this past war that has been within this war, this wartime. But do you think that we get spoiled and we're a little bit more entitled with all the benefits that we have? We already get free college education. And if we don't use that college education,
that's not true. That's not true.
Well, with the GI Bill, I get that.
The post 9/11, post 9/11,
post 9/11 GI, yes.
What about the veterans that are Vietnam or pre Gulf War?
Yeah, I get that. That's why I said let's just look at these past 25 year generation full.
Okay.
You've got all of these veterans that are getting the post 9/11 GI Bill, so that means the majority of the college is paid for. Plus, on top of that, there are other programs like the Yellow Ribbon program that will help pay for it. They have the Chapter 35, which gives the money to disabled veterans' children's. You can pass along the post 9/11 GI Bill to your children or to your spouse if you're not going to use it, so that they have tuition-free types of forms of to pay for college. You have your VA mortgage, and yes, you have a guaranteed with no down payment or anything like that. And yeah, shitty interest rate at this moment, but when the interest rate's good, you still qualify for it, regardless of how bad your credit actually is, because you got the VA benefits. You have multiple organizations that are able to provide for you different types of services. You can get a pension, obviously, and if you play the cards right, that pension and your retirement might actually be more than what you had made while you were in the service. And I'm not talking about everything you made in the service, because you can add your BAS and your BAH in, and then your compensation's a little bit higher, but take home money wise, you still have that. A lot of states give out several different benefits to disabled veterans so that their way of life is kind of given up to them. And there's a lot of things that are given to us kind of without asking.
Well, I know there's a lot that are given to veterans, but that veterans don't take advantage of. So it's like, it's neither here nor there. They're there for the taking, but with how much we have that's available to us, and yes, I am not diminishing the fact that what we did with serving our country is not noble, or is noble, and I'm not diminishing the fact of what our service meant to everybody else. But I'm just wondering if we have started raising a generation, kind of like this whole generation of Generation Z or the millennials, where they feel that they're entitled to this. I'm just trying to say that this generation of veterans, we are a little bit spoiled with what we have available to us. I think that,
and I do think that there's a sense of entitlement within this generation of everything that we have for them, that we really don't have to budget as hard and work as hard for some of the things that a lot of the people out in the civilian world, put as a priority, such as education and getting a house and things like that.
And the thing about that is it'll never go away. It's like taxes.
Yeah.
It's like taxes. A community or the federal government or whatever goes, here's a tax. It's a temporary tax, but it never really goes away. No. So here's an entitlement. So here's an entitlement towards veterans. It'll never really go away, regardless of what. So you have veterans that are just, I broke my leg, so I walked funny, or whatever, some kind of a service-related disability.
Yeah.
And it's just some veterans will just like exacerbate it, and all of a sudden there's PTS involved, and they want to make that jump from 40 to 60% or whatever disability. So they, fake shit. I don't know. Say something on the claim form, and then hope that it catches.
It also does have to do with timing as well, and with the way that the percentages the VA has for it. Like, I'll tell you right now, just with me, because I'm 100%, 70% of that is PTSD, and it's because when I did the initial filing, I hit all those parameters where my rating for PTSD would be 70%. If I ever reevaluated right there, I would probably end up dropping to 30%. But I'm not going to get reevaluated. I'm not going to open myself up for a reevaluation for it because
you're kind of rolling the dice, man.
Yeah.
Pookie says VA home loans also have so many stipulations. They really don't. If you have a disabled rating, 0% down payment.
Well,
what else is there? Did you serve or not?
There's stipulations on the houses that you can buy and the inspections.
Exactly, because they're very when the VA comes and does the home evaluation, and that's why I saved like 10 grand on my house, is because the VA came in and says, "No, we're not going to loan this guy the money unless you drop it by 10 grand," and they did, which was cool. So I get that. I get that.
It makes it harder for the lenders. It doesn't make it harder for well, I mean, that's what I meant. It makes it harder for the lenders. It doesn't make it harder for the service member to, obtain.
Well, it kind of does, because if the lender won't lend you the money, it makes it hard for the service member.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. Very good point there. Yeah, that is. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah, I wish we could solve all the world's problems.
I know, it's just radio show, and that's what we do is we just sit here and talk and bullshit and drink our beers and our coffees and eat our tamales and whatever.
This is turning into an episode of the Smoke Pit.
I thought it was the sports bar for a minute.
We're going to hit everything right now. Now all we need to start talking about is Gold Corp and the MCU, so we can get the entire gamut of WTF Nation.
You know what would be cool is if and Pookie kind of raise this a little bit. If you want to buy land, for investment, or if you want to buy a business, if you want to start a business, and I think the VA is moving in this direction. I don't know that they've done this yet. But, use your GI Bill to fund your business startup or the purchase of land. Do you think it's going in that direction or maybe not?
For the GI Bill?
Yeah. No, whatever VA benefit you have.
For the VA loan.
Yeah.
I have heard that there is a couple programs out there, and I'm not too well versed in it, but I have heard that there is kind of a loophole way around that if you do buy a plot of land and you put some type of housing on there, and I'm not sure if it's prefab construction or if it's something where I don't know if you can go ground up and build your own house from.
We've had guests that have done. They've bought a plot of land and they have started like organic farming.
Yeah.
But the VA was not involved with that at all because they didn't cover that stuff. So they kind of went through other avenues that no one knows about because it's a mystery. And it takes a lot of groundwork and a lot of homework.
Yeah.
But I don't think the VA is like, hey, if you want to start a business, check this box and we'll get you in touch with a counselor that can help you do this.
I just wish that there was a veterans organization that would be able to tell you everything about benefits. Oh, wait a minute. There is one. I can't mention it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I can only skirt around that issue a little bit too much because I don't know who the hell's listening right now. And I'm not giving all that shit away.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, all right. So I'm bringing up something way from the past. Do you remember that dude, Matthew Lesko, that used to hawk that book at like 11 o'clock at night. You used to wear the question mark suits on there.
Holy
He's
shit!
like,
Yes.
here's how you can get all that money. Here's how you can get all that free money from the government to, go beekeeping or start a dildo factory or whatever the heck.
As long as you
Somebody
do
should-
like latex-free dildos, that's. I mean, there's all kinds of people.
Somebody should do that. Somebody like
Ask Lesko. Ask Lesko.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lesko. Somebody should do a veteran version of Ask Lesko.
Holy shit! We're copywriting this. This is genius, man. Ask Lesko.
Yeah.
Oh, we can shoot the commercials. I've got cameras. I can do this.
We can do that. WTF Nation Radio presents to you Ask Lesko.
Pookie's got a great point. What if a vet wanted to start a farm? And that's what they're talking about. In Georgia, we had that veteran that we had on the air. He wanted to start a farm, it was a completely organic farm, and then like aside from that, there was veterans retreats and stuff. So it was a multi-use property.
And oh God, I can tell you about 3 of them just here in my area.
A former host. I just remembered this. Holy shit! He's up in Oregon. He's up in Oregon, and he's organic farming. He's got a farm because that's what he wants to do. That's what keeps him sane.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 3 farms that I actually work with within North Carolina and South Carolina. One of them is a Veteran Healings Farm in Hendersonville. The Semper Fi Barn, which is over by Clemson in South Carolina. And then there's like another veterans farm up in Lillington, North Carolina. And all 3 of them, this is run by veterans. They run programs out of there where it's kind of like a retreat center as well as a farm. What
were the other 2? I got the Semper Fi Barn. What are the other 2? I'm gonna
Semper Fi Barn, which is the one out in Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Veterans Healing Farm, which is in Hendersonville. And then there's another one I've got to look on my Facebook page, unfortunately, and that means signing off of the sports bar. I can't remember the other one.
Okay.
I think it might be Vet Farm of North Carolina, but it's in Lillington, North Carolina. And that one, all 3 of those, they host programs. Yeah, the Veterans Farm of North Carolina. That's the third one, and that's in the close to Lillington.
Okay.
So Veterans Healing Farm, Semper Fi Barn, Semper Fi Farm Barn, and Veterans Healing Farm or Veterans Farm of North Carolina. Those are the 3 that I work with. That all of them are nonprofit organizations. The farms that they have, not only do the growing and everything a farm does, but they also host classes and have like cabins and
how-tos
like
and
that
stuff
for people to stay there. They do how-to classes. I know that this Veterans Farm of North Carolina also has an equipment co-op. So if you have your own farm, and if you need to borrow any equipment, part of their co-op will have some of that equipment with them. Obviously, I don't know how the hell a co-op actually works, but those are the good ones that they have from there. That Veterans Healing Farm, oh God, they've done guide dog classes. They've done classes where they've done farmers markets with all of the proceeds going right back to the veteran that grows it. The Semper Fi Barn, I know that they're getting their self off the feet. They're getting their feet underneath the ground on them right now.
Are they new?
There's a lot of they're pretty new. They've got a cabin that they'll let veterans crash there on a cabin for the weekend. Like if you're going up to a Clemson football game and can't find a hotel room, you give them a call and you can crash out in their cabin and they'll have no problem with that.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, they use it as like a retreat space, and they do like social groups kind of there. We're going to be doing some volunteer work out there, later on this year, and that's something that I'm trying to get going with whom I work for. But yeah, all of these farms that are around here, there's ways to get farming, to actually be able to do it. But I guess the nonprofit way is kind of the best way to get all of these. Somewhat, I mean, obviously it'll be tax free because it's a nonprofit organization. But in order to teach classes and to do other things for it to save the tax burden, that's how they do it out there. So you would have to kind of even organic farming. I know that there's a tax initiative for doing the organic way. But yeah, the farming itself, there is that way. It's just nothing that I think the VA actually takes care of. It might be through like the Bureau of Land Management, or the FDA, or Greenpeace,
or you just
whatever.
got to get on the internet and just fucking Google some shit.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's a good one for you. That Veterans Farm in North Carolina, they're not just doing farming too, but they're also doing some livestock raising as well. So they actually have like kind of like 4-H with cows.
God,
yeah. They'll put all they'll do livestock raising, and then sell the meat and do that stuff out there. It's a pretty freaking cool idea for a lot of the vets to get into.
And a lot of veterans come from that type of lifestyle. I mean, they've raised on a farm, boom. So get out. True. I'm just going to go back to farming. But I need a hand. Where is that hand at?
Were you raised by farmland, man? Because I'm a city boy.
I was like horse adjacent. I'm a suburb guy.
Okay. All right. I'm a city guy that moved into the suburbs, and then, got from there. And like the suburb wise, yeah, there was like a horse in the backyard from the house that I moved into. But
I'm from a town that says, "Hey, it's a horse," and then you're from a town that says, "That's a motherfucking horse."
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's from what's a motherfucking horse doing in here?
That's fucking great.
Yeah. But growing up in Patterson, New Jersey, it was all concrete jungle and everything like that. And then, first time I ever saw like real grass was shit when I was like 15 or 16. But yeah,
it was green fuzz. What is this green fuzz?
What are you talking about? I got to mow.
What does mow the lawn mean?
Yeah.
Is that sexual?
Yeah. What are you talking about, raking? What the hell is that? But yeah, it is an avenue that I think is underutilized, and like I said, WTF Nation Radio Lesko we can get that up and running. And
now we need to find someone on staff that's going to wear a fucking a jumpsuit that has a big question mark on there. Ask Lesko.
Oh, come on. Ice looks like him. He can do it.
He's pretty thin.
Pookie's
pretty thin.
Already.
Yeah, he has the glasses.
But Pookie's got all the facial hair, man.
He does.
I mean, Pookie would have to shave in order to do it.
Oh, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, he's exactly. Not. And Radar, I mean,
oh my gosh.
Get him out of there.
But Radar's got like 48 kids.
Exactly.
They can all wear question marks. Yes. Thanks, Radar, for volunteering. You've been voluntold. Here's our next venture. Ask Lesko.
Seeing that he's not going to see this, I might as well throw CQ under the bus. We can use CQ as the do not do, and we can show him his middle finger right there and just say, "Hey, this is why you have to be safe on the farm." Can
he flip anybody off? I'm not sure.
Go. All right.
Is he able?
He's able to, on the other hand, but my fantasy football name is for this year?
I have no idea. And I wanted to sign up, but I'm like, no, I can't take. I can't. I don't have time to take part in the draft and all this other, team building type things. So I passed. But what is your name?
TQ's middle finger.
No way. That's funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah. Yep. My name is CQ's middle finger.
That is so funny. Is he a member?
Oh yeah, he's a member.
Awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Him, Mad Mike, Radar. God, we have several listeners on there. King's obviously on there. We've got a couple. We have another guy, Will. He actually has another show on his own Facebook page, another sports show. So we invited him to come along too. Yeah, we've got several of the listeners on there. Several of the hosts
Flash is there, I think.
Yeah, Flash is there too. Yeah. Flash is on there. I keep on forgetting about Flash being on there. Yeah. I keep on forgetting Flash is part of the freaking network. Flash is never on.
Heath says he can't do air quotes. He just does like semicolons.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
So go ahead, please. That's funny. So Sunday you have the sports show. I'm going to sign off here just because I'm getting kind of fucking loopy and I'm tired and I'm really glad to have my foundation stuff taken care of for now.
It's 11:30 and these guys are still grilling and listening to music right now.
You need to go and get a plate of food. Say, dude, if you're going to keep me up at night, you're going to fucking feed me.
Yeah. I think after this, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, man. I think so now because now I'm not pissed off. At least I'm somewhat happy.
I'm glad. I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah.
No one. I mean, life is too short to be fucking pissed off about everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. And tomorrow I get to do the job I love, and Sunday I get to do the job I love, and then, man, Monday. Is Ice going to be on for Labor Day, or is he going to break the? I don't know. The Labor Day tradition of not working.
I really don't know.
Working on the day we're not supposed to work.
I mean, as far as I know, and this is as far as I know, Sunday is a sports bar, Monday is the Monday edition, Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior, Wednesday is the Smoke Pit, and Sarge Time is on Thursday, and then Friday is Friday Night Freedom. I actually snuck in on the Smoke Pit on Wednesday. It was kind of fun.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I was on the second hour. I was like, I had just gotten home, and
yeah, because TZ couldn't make it.
TZ couldn't make it, and no one was available. So I was just like, fuck it, man. I saw the bat signal. I'm like, fuck it, I'm available. Here I am.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun bullshitting with Radar, man. I was on
that. You want to get down a rabbit hole. You can have a totally coherent conversation with Radar, and then he mentions something, and then you mention something, and then he mentions something again, not related to the original topic, but then you it's like YouTube with Radar, because you go to you click the next video and the next video and the next video, the next thing, you're butt fucking aliens. But originally, you were talking about mountain climbing. Yeah. It's something totally not related.
Yeah, it's I when I was on a show, it was great. I do enjoy watching it. It's just, man, Wednesdays are like my one day where I'm able to actually do shit around the house, and by the time Wednesday night rolls around, I might be half asleep. Like, God, I don't even. In fact, oh God, Wednesday night, the reason why I couldn't get on was because I was in the damn VA, and I'm going to give a great freaking VA update on this one. I got an email saying that I had an MRI that day, or at least I thought it was that day, at 8:30 at night. I go up to the VA. I look at it at the time that I was supposed to be there. They sent me the email on August 30th. I did have an MRI scheduled for 8:30. on August 28th and got the email on August 30th.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Why weren't you on time?
Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you to the Fayetteville VA, especially the MRI department, which has to be manned 24/7 because it's it's an emergency room. They squeezed me in at 11 o'clock, and I got the MRI done, so I was rather happy about that. But I waited at the VA for 3 hours for that MRI. Now, like I said, if I just started off with I was at the VA for 3 hours waiting for my MRI. People would have been like, "Oh yeah, fucking VA." But,
is that it?
Yeah, but I will say that the people in the MRI suite were, very, very helpful, and definitely wanted to help me. So I didn't leave all ticked off whatsoever. They understood my frustration. I didn't get mad, but they helped me out and they got me my.
That's awesome.
They got me my MRI at 11.
I really. It doesn't matter how inconvenient it is. I like to hear happy VA stories.
Yeah.
I had an actual. It was just a primary care phone, follow up or something with my primary care guy, and that was the day that I didn't have my phone. So I missed my phone appointment. I called the VA, and they're just like, "Okay, we're going to reschedule you." I'm like, "Great. Is it going to be next week?" They're like, "No, it's going to be in November. November 20th is my next appointment."
Jeez, yeah.
For a phone appointment. I'm like,
"Yeah.
Is this the best you can do?" They're like, "That's the next appointment we have available." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah. And that's the things that,
MRIs change your quantum state. It's just, it's just an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging.
Yeah. And, and I'll be honest, the MRI thing, I get that they want to do the scheduling and all this other stuff, but, I'm not sure about you or what your experience was with getting MRIs, but these things have to be manned 24/7, especially if they have an emergency room.
Correct.
So I don't understand why they don't have, some appointments at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, there's probably a shit ton of us that, need an MRI that are already up that early in the morning because we have to go take a piss and we can't go back to sleep.
True. But you need to have someone who can interpret that MRI. So, and I think that's what it is. They don't want to backlog. Anybody can take an MRI, but there has to be somebody who can interpret that data.
Yeah, the interpreting part goes for a while, but I mean, just that part for taking the MRI, I think that's where, I think it might be easier to do it that way, but yeah, regardless, I'm just
Musa! YOLO, brother. Thank you for tuning in, man. Moose is here.
11:35 and he's on. All right, outstanding.
I think he's in Texas.
Musa, yeah.
I think he's in Texas somewhere.
I thought. All right, who's the guy who's calling us from or is logging on from Africa? I thought that was Musa.
I don't know. Musa talks as though he's in the Texas area.
Yeah, I can't remember. Shoot. Now we have
somebody. Heath is Mississippi. Let me see who else. Branko's in the. He's in your neck of the woods. He's New York, maybe Jersey.
Okay.
Pookie's in South Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't mean to offend anybody.
Oh shit, he's got a metal cheekbone. Sorry about that, Heath. Yeah, obviously you can't get one done, man.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Well, it all depends on what kind of stainless it is.
I mean, you're going to come out looking like Michael Jackson by the time that thing's done.
Or your face is going to come off. It's a magnet.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You ever see that? You ever see that picture where it looked like Michael Jackson's nose fell off? Before he died. Yeah, that's what he's going to look like if he goes through an MRI.
He probably lied right before an MRI, and then his nose fell off, and they're like, "Oh shit, what do we do?"
Yeah. Put it back on. Put it back on.
Oh, no. Hey, man, I think I'm going to get out of here, man. Thanks for hanging out, man. I just wanted to get on and talk to everybody, and I'm really sad that I couldn't do a full show with Pookie Yeah, just because of things and stuff. But
Yeah.
so our show lineup again is, Sunday. What do you guys got going on for the sports bar?
King's going solo. I know he's got a couple of real good, interesting stories. I know we're going to look back at a Facebook post from 2017 when the Chiefs signed Patrick Mahomes, and everybody in the comments section basically said it was going to be like the worst pick in NFL history.
Oh,
and it's
God.
going to be a bust and everything.
Such a fucking talented dude.
Oh yeah, and I know King's been compiling up a couple more things on there as well. Just for shits and giggles, I may call him from the racetrack just so that he could hear, how loud it is over there. But I don't think that'll be good radio, so I might spare him of that. But other than that, I know King's got a lot of good stuff lined up, and then it's the week before the fantasy football, so we'll probably be putting our starting lineups in and seeing how we're gonna perform in 2 weeks. That's going to be
seriously. Season opener, not season opener. That's a baseball thing, but the opening games are like 2 weeks.
September 7th, and it's Kansas City Thursday night. I don't remember who they're playing, but Jets week 1 will be Monday Night Football against the Bills. Oh yeah, I am going to be one happy motherfucker that day.
Go Cowboys! Yes.
Jesus Christ. No.
This is our year, man. This is our year. I've been saying that since 1996.
Hey, you know what? I found that, and I'm pretty sure in this hotel they probably still have a VCR. I can go ahead and I can get you one of their VCRs so you can watch their last Super Bowl highlights.
You know what? It's my hometown. I love the Cowboys. I've always, I think I've always. My younger brother was a Cowboys fan first. I used to be a Pittsburgh fan, and then I was a Packers fan, and I still am. So if the Cowboys are falling off the rails, then my go-to is the Packers.
The Pack. And they got Jordan Love starting this year, and then
how is he? Is he reasonable? Go Browns! No, because I grew up in Cleveland, and I grew up in Cleveland when it was the Cardiac Kids.
Oof.
And that was a thing, but they haven't been that since then.
No, they've been the mistake by the lake.
Exactly.
Now let me see. Jordan Love's actually
Broncos. Musa, my brother.
Oh God, yeah. You think Cowboy fans are delusional this season?
It's the lack of oxygen, I think.
Yeah. Now, all right. Jordan Love is going to be, I'm going to say, about league average on quarterback, but you got to think about it. He's following Aaron Rodgers, who just followed Brett Favre. Green Bay's been used to high quarterback play for good 30 years now, and they're not going to get it this year. But I am going to be looking at
Jets might be interesting this year.
Yeah, the Jets will be with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
and with Sauce Gardner.
There's a bar owner. There's a bar owner. I forget where this bar owner is, but he's like, I'm going to pay your tab if the Jets lose when Aaron Rodgers is playing. I forget where this was. It was like a blurb. I didn't read the article. I saw the blurb, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Man,
he's an old man, dude.
I don't drink anymore, so fuck. I'd take him up on. Actually, no, I would never go. I would never go there.
Right?
Yeah, it would not be a good day for me if that's the case. But yeah, and the NFL season, September 7th, and all the shit talking will be going from there. We'll definitely be previewing that, and seeing that we can't talk about the Yankees anymore because the Yankees suck. We will definitely be
They're not doing that great. They're not doing that great, and I'm really disappointed in my Texas Rangers. They're down to third place or a game behind.
Yeah, they had a great start at the beginning of the season,
Dude,
and then
it's not just a great start. It's not just a great start. Even after the mid-season break, the All-Star break, they still continued to win a lot, and now they're just kind of trailing off. I'm still happy. I'm still happy because the Rangers are really doing good. They got a good team.
Yeah, And Seattle's been doing really good.
Seattle fucking
we'll
woke
get to
up.
that today.
Seattle woke up, and man, it's going to be a great end of the season, I think.
Yeah, Frankie Montas, who should have been a Yankee, but I'm not going to get started on that. That should have, but yeah, he's really helped them out a bit, and I really like that. God, I can't remember the kid's name right now. We just talked about him on the sports bar. You want to talk about a hitter? This guy had 17 hits in a matter of 4 games, and I can't remember the kid's name right now off the top of my head. But yeah, this kid's just raking right now, and at a phenomenal level. And he's like 22 or 23 years old. If he keeps that up, he's going to be a great baseball player, one of the all-time greats. But
I like to see everyone. I like to see everyone do good in sports that I really don't give a fuck about. I like to see everyone succeed.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to see the Mets succeed. I don't want to see
except for the Mets,
the Red Sox, or the Red Sox. Fuck the Red Sox. Yeah, you heard me right there, Bronco. I said fuck the Red Sox.
he is a masshole. He might come back on you on that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Kaz, and that is the Coach. Yep. Don't forget to tune into the Sports Bar on Sunday, the Monday edition with Ice. Pop Culture Warrior with CQ, Wednesday with Radar on the Smoke Pit, and Thursday for Sergeant's Time. I'm not going to be on next week, but I'll be on the week after that for Friday Night Freedom.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody, you take care of yourself and hit up the VA. Don't miss your appointments like I did. That kind of sucked. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Love you. Bye.
Yep. Shots.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping.
All right, man.
Said,
thank you very much.
Said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.